I became involved in this project through a phone call that Michael gave me. We talked. I was in France working there, and it was actually a really good place to be because there is a lot of werewolf culture over there, and Michael told me in very few sentences what was this about. And at that moment I was already completely convinced of being part of this, and little by little, the more we talked, the more we sort of engaged on what was being constructed, and what was the story, and the storyline and the premises and everything started to get very, started to construct the character, to build the character, and at the same time I started to investigate even more about werewolves in different parts of the world, and that started to become a kind of a ground, like a solid ground on where to build this character. So that's how I got really involved, and by the time we started to rehearse, I was already kind of completely, fully in it, fully involved. There's many things that I like about playing Jack Russell, and amongst the many different angles. I mean, this part of apart from the obvious of being half human, half monster. This kind of trying to establish this border between both. One of the things I like a lot is that it's a character that has lived many years. I think that in itself sets the scale, the musical scale on which this character talks and moves and kind of engages with the present. Somebody that has lived 300, 400 years maybe has seen a lot, and that's something that sparks my curiosity, and at the same time gives me an angle, a very specific angle on how to play this character, but also it just keeps me, it like strikes my curiosity as well in terms of where this can go. It can lead to many places. Those are the things that the fact that the film is in black and white is in itself a starting point on how we engage looking at this at Werewolf by Night, because in horror is more important what you don't see and what you don't hear than what you see and what you hear. It's there is that kind of immediate engagement of trying to construct everything that you see in the screen. So it leads a lot to the imagination. That's why, I mean, black and white has been so such there's been such a conflict in a sense with the use of black and white, because it's very powerful, and it leads a lot. It engages and demands a lot from the viewer to construct what goes on, what happens there. What color would it been? We'd never know. So there is something very interesting about that, and there's many things about the specific rules and the kind of the stylization and the operistic kind of stylization that the horror genre kind of brings, that as an actor it's good not to be aware of. It's good to just to listen and to kind of be comfortable with the silences and the kind of like the tension build up, but then you see the result. So there's something fantastic about this, I mean, as well. It's that we're always in a fine line, not knowing what really are we doing. Sometimes we will see the result, and that's how analog films were made. They were shot, and then they would see how they were made, how everything comes up. So that's something that was very fun to do, and it's nice not to have all the certainties as well, because I mean, the creative process, it's good to try things without the certainty if they're good or bad. No, and later we will see. Uh-huh. Michael Giacchino is I got to know this after we were doing this project, that his first approach was as a filmmaker, and he started to make music as a filmmaker, and now maybe there is a hybrid between him as a person that makes music for films, or as a musician into the world of him directing, and so it's interesting. He's got a very interesting point of view, and it's interesting to see how his kind of language and kind of authorship evolves as well as a filmmaker. He wants to keep directing, I suppose, I hope, and it would be interesting to see where this leads. How was it like to work with Laura and Harriet? Well, I mean, they are incredible. They are such great actresses, and they really jump right into the fantasy of this world. I mean, it's great to have to work with actors that really enjoy the game that we're playing, and they're definitely the type of actors that really just love to play with all these elements, and they went really for it. So it was such a relief, and great, and encouraging, and also I don't know, just very tender as well, the way that we all got interested in a project like this. Well, I about making this special. I still making this featurette, this mediometraje. I'm uh, I'm interested to see what the reactions will be. I'm interested to see how the journey of this film will take. Um, that's what excites me a lot, because obviously, I mean, we're doing everything, and we're doing it for, trying to achieve a certain alchemy, and so who knows where this will lead. So it's still there. It's still in process.